show, they got married and then they divorced like 3 months later. I honestly was kind of shocked that they divorced because they seem solid. Now that we know everything, the reunion and stuff, he basically said that she was kind of toxic and she would fight a lot and that she had an alcohol problem. That's what he made it seem like. Which Amber then like denied. I don't know, honestly, I think they just were not compatible. Honestly, I feel like everybody is kissing Jordan's ass, and I'm not gonna do that. I don't think Jordan is a bad guy. Like, I love Jordan, but I also think that he was not ready. Like, I feel like he didn't really understand what he was getting himself into. Yeah, I think he was like a good guy, just like doing it, and I think he did love her, and I think he was happy and wanted to make it work, but then he was like, oh wait, actually, like, I kind of don't want to do this, which it's a lot to get married to someone that has a kid, like, I don't think he was ready. Okay, I don't, and I think y'all need, like, people need to stop kissing his ass, because I don't think he was. That doesn't make him a bad guy, okay, but, he was happy, and I do applaud him for, like, leaving since he was happy, because I feel like sometimes people stick around way too long trying to make something work that isn't gonna work. Now, I will say 3 months is really fast for a marriage, but at least he knew what he wanted. I don't know. Amber, I also really like Amber. I feel like she's getting a lot of hate, and I do think she is probably too much for Jordan. And like, I'm not saying that she as a person is too much, because you will never be too much to the right person, but that's how I feel like Jordan was not her person, because I feel like she was too much for him. Like, they were just not compatible. He did not like conflict at all, and she did seem a little bit intense, and so I love her, but she did seem like intense, and so I don't think like they balance each other out well, because like, yeah, it just wasn't gonna work, because Jordan, he does not seem like a confrontational person, and Amber does, and like, yeah, but I do love how she was like a girl's girl. She stood 10 toes down for her girls. I love that. Yeah, I honestly think they just like weren't compatible. Honestly, I think they're both good people. I think that two things can be true at the same time. They both have their own truths, and I think it's unfair for people that are villainizing one or the other, like people saying that Jordan's a villain or that she's a villain. I think they both have issues that they need to work on, honestly, both of them, and I just think they just were not compatible, and they should have not gotten married. But I think they're both good people that just like have issues that they need to work on, and they were not meant to be. Okay, I think that's it on that. I'm trying to think, because I watched like some podcasts on them. I watched like both of their podcasts on like different, she went on the Nick Viall podcast, and then he went on the What's the Reality podcast. So I'm trying to think like, did I miss something? I don't know if I missed anything. Like, they both had issues. They really did. Like, watching both their podcasts, I was like, yeah, like, he has issues, she has issues, but like, it's nothing crazy. Like, they're both good people, like, they just weren't meant to be. Next, we'll do Mike and Emma. Mike and Emma, they always confused me. I still don't understand how they made it out of the pods, because I feel like kids are like, I feel like kids should be like a non-negotiable. Like, how could you like propose to someone that doesn't know if you want to have kids when you know you want to have kids? Like, I don't understand why he proposed to her, and I don't understand why she said yes. understand that. Yeah, like, I just don't see how they could have, like, worked out with the whole kids thing. My phone ran out of storage, so I had to go delete stuff and then come back. Anyways, I feel like I hear people outside. We're just gonna ignore that, okay? Mike and Emma, I thought it was kind of crazy that she was getting compromised on kids, and I think Mike did good in saying no. Honestly, I just don't get how they got here in the first place. Yeah, the conversation with his parents was really awkward because they also were asking about kids. It just seems like kids is something that I'm like, Mike, do you want kids, or do you just want kids because your parents want you to have kids? I don't know. It was just kind of awkward. And Emma seems really sweet, but I don't know if she, like, it just seemed like she didn't really want kids. So I'm kind of surprised that she said yes. Okay, so next, Vic and Christine. I think they are a really cute couple. Also, why are my neighbors outside talking? It's like a Wednesday night at midnight. Like, hello. Anyways, Vic and Christine, they're really cute. I really don't have much to say on them. They were unproblematic. I thought it was crazy that Netflix like sent them to Malibu, and then they were like, oh, like I actually had no idea that they didn't go to Cabo. Is that where they went? I had no idea that they didn't go. Like, I thought they went. I was like, what? When they said that they didn't go, I was like, you're lying. I saw them there. Yeah, I was really surprised. And I do wonder if Netflix originally, like, wasn't gonna film them at all, and then when they realized they were legit, they were like, oh no, like, we need them. Or, I don't know. Because maybe they didn't want it to be like the last season where, like, nobody got married. I forgot what season it was where there was, like, no married couples. Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy and kind of unfair, like, really. But at least they sent them somewhere, you know. At least they sent them to Malibu, and they were like, okay, if we need you, we'll come get you. So just go to Malibu. I don't know. Netflix, they were just trying to save the show by having a couple on hand. Yeah, not much to say on them. Next is what's his name? Devonte, and Britney. Britney is so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Honestly, I saw no chemistry, but also I do feel like, I don't know if, like, they just didn't show us, like, their chemistry, or they really just didn't have chemistry. I will say, like, I did notice they had a lot of cute moments where they would, like, laugh a lot, but they seem more like friends versus a couple to me. Obviously, all the stuff that came out about him having a baby, like, he's about to have a baby, but he lives in a different state, and then he's roommates with Alex. Just a bunch of red flags. I obviously don't love that man, and it's crazy everything that came out at the reunion. Britney, it was, like, sad to see her put up with everything that she put up with, because, like, she did clock him, like, in Cabo. She was like, I feel like you're not affectionate towards me, like, I feel like you're, and, like, they had multiple conversations where she told him, like, you're not affectionate, I feel like you're not attracted to me. And so it's like, she knew, but she was, like, choosing to believe his words. But that's the thing, like, actions speak louder than words. Just because somebody tells you they love you or they like you, but their actions show otherwise, she should have just went with her gut, because she did know, but she ignored it because she took his word, and then look what happened. Yeah, I don't love him. I thought the whole, like, trip, the Austin concert, I thought that was so weird. It made the other three girls look like mean girls. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the other three girls, honestly, but, like, also, I feel like I really doubt that he's their type. Like, I'm sorry, I really don't think that he stood a chance with any of them, with like the other three girls, like Priyanka, Bree, and Ashley. I don't think he ever stood a chance with them. I think he went hoping that there was like a chance he could hook up with one of them, but I don't think that they ever saw him as like a contender, you know. That was just weird. But yeah, Britney, I hope that she learns and like knows her worth, because that really sucked watching her go through that. Next, Connor and Bree, they're still together. They didn't get married. Which honestly, like, I think it's great. Like, I know this show you're supposed to go to the altar and say yes or no, but I think it's like if you're not ready to get married, this is a crazy show. So I do not judge anyone that doesn't get married, because it's crazy. I think it worked out in the end for them. Like, it was like the best thing to do for them to say no, because it seems like they are thriving in their relationship. I watched them on What's the Reality podcast, and it just seems like they're really happy. So I think that was the best thing for them. They seem like really doing really well. Yeah, the only thing that I will say about Brie is like that conversation she had with Chris. I do think she entertained it too long, and even she says it on like the podcast and stuff, that she wishes, and even like Connor said, like they both wish that she would have walked away faster, and she realizes that she entertained him for too long, which I agree. It really rubbed me the wrong way when she just kept it like sitting there. I was like, girl, get up, leave. And then we have Chris and Jessica. Honestly, whenever I watch Love is Blind, I don't like sit down and pay attention to it. I usually like cook and watch the show, or like clean and watch the show. So I was personally shocked whenever Chris said all those things to Jessica on the couch. I was like, wait, what? So he seemed like a good person. So whenever they were on the couch, I was genuinely shocked, because I was like, where did this come from? On the What's a Reality podcast, Connor and Bree did say that he like apologized to them like months before the reunion. So I don't know, I would like to hope that he's changed. Hopefully he's changed. I don't know, you can't trust these men. Yeah, obviously I'm not a fan of Chris. I think what he said to Jessica was really rude, disrespectful, and I feel like it came out of nowhere. I was shocked. And then, yeah, in the reunion, it didn't seem like he was like super remorseful or realized what he did wrong. But after watching like What's the Reality podcast with Connor and Bree, I was like, well, maybe he is remorseful because he apologized to them months before. I don't know if he ever apologized to Jessica months before. I don't know. Jessica, I think she's great. I love her. I have nothing bad to say about her, honestly. She was awesome. I really hope that her new relationship works out with that guy, and I hope that he's genuine. There's really not much to say about her. I think she did great, and yeah, like, he did not deserve her. And then last, we have Alex and Ashley. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of like either of them. Like, and I don't have that many thoughts about them. Alex is like an interesting person, honestly. Do I think he was lying about everything? Yeah, I think he was. Or I think he was lying about like most things. And I don't like, he just like, the way he explained things, he like used a lot of words, and it's like, why do you do that? But also, like, when we got to meet his mom, it kind of made sense as to why he's the way that he is. Like the type of environment that he was like raised in, always being was just strange. And then Ashley, I'm glad she walked away. Like, I'm glad she saw through his bullshit. Yeah, like, and Britney did say that Ashley did, like, talk to her. She was the only one that, out of the 3 girls that went to Austin with Devo, that, like, apologized to her and told her that nothing happened and took the time to talk to her. And so, I think that kind of shows that she is a girl's girl, so that's positive. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about them. He clearly was, like, not attracted to her at all, and, like, she knew it, and so it just wasn't gonna work. Clearly love is not blind. I think we've learned that. But yeah, this season was interesting. I do love Love is Blind, but I feel like every season is just, like, I don't know, every season I'm like, it can't be worse than the previous one. And then here comes someone like Chris, like, doing something crazy. I'm like, what? Like, where do they find these people? Where do they find these people that say stuff like this, that do stuff like this? It's just crazy. But yeah,